Hi, I'm Dave Mitchell. I'm the president of Leadership Difference, and I've had the honor over the last year to be providing consultative selling skills training to the new home consultants of William Lyon Homes, including Village Homes and Polygon Homes. It's been fantastic. This video is going to give you just a taste of the things that we did both in the classroom and out in the various communities as we traveled around the West. Now, critical to establishing rapport with our customer is understanding their communication style. We had a lot of fun talking about this in a classroom setting. We talked about the 4 different types of consumers: romantics, warriors, experts, and masterminds. Romantics are emotionally based consumers. They have a tremendous capacity to detect and appreciate the feelings in their environment. So as a consumer, they want to work with someone who they see as likable, someone who cares about them, someone who empathizes with their situation, a friend, if you will.
For romantic, the first thing that stands out to me for this home is the location. You're on a cul-de-sac, so what I would speak to the buyer is privacy. You don't have someone right in front of you. Security and safety for your kids and pets. If the dogs get out, you can chase them down the road before they get out to the main road. Kids riding their bikes in the cul-de-sac and playing.
Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner out on the patio, but this house is all about romantic. The motions, all the windows, the light that comes into it. So it is perfect for entertainment, for family and friends, and that's what we like.
Warriors are logical. They value efficiency, outcomes, value, even status. So when they're working with a new home consultant, they're looking for someone who knows what they're doing, who can minimize the time it takes to navigate this transaction, someone who can make this an efficient, outcome-oriented process, and who also gets the fact that they want the best and they also want the best value.
The biggest thing that we see in here was this is ideal setup for warriors. Warriors would love something like this. They love showing off, which when you've got a great big island like this, all your friends around, right. It's just brag.
Yeah. There's 14 people right now in this area, and it's that's crazy.
And you have the warrior position right there, Dave. See, he's just standing there, arms back.
These are my friends. Lawyer. Architect. We're not happy about the architect.
And so warriors value independence. It's an intrinsic need of theirs. So the whole concept of complying with your tour is a little contrary. That's why they're the ones that try to sneak by in and go look at the houses. Yes. They want it just because it's more efficient, right?
Exactly.
Because you're gonna I don't even like the damn house. Now, third, we have the experts. And experts are very knowledge-based. They're very factual. They do their research. They may have a very long sales cycle. They take their time. They want to be sure that they make a good decision because they have a little risk aversion. So they're looking for a new home consultant who's experienced, who knows their stuff, who gives accurate answers to their questions, and can shepherd them through this process, always making sure they feel safe and secure and that the answers they get to their questions are absolutely accurate.
And then the expert, we're going to look at this, that the stairwell coming down is finished. That's a $2,500 saving that you have for finishing your basement.
Very specific, very nice.
They can see that we have areas that have insulation around the wiring and around the plumbing. That is huge. And that again, all of the piping has the metal braces, so they're not moving when Sometimes you can see it back too.
Yeah, so you have less gravel. and you
This is
won't
all
have the
great
gravel.
expert stuff to
Yeah, mhm.
show
Again.
the quality of construction.
And the
And finally, we have the Mastermind consumer. The Mastermind consumer values excitement, something unique, something cool. They want a situation and a home that's kind of customized to their lifestyle and needs. So that can make them particularly challenging because obviously we have very specific floor plans. So how can we take these specific floor plans and make them mold to the needs, the specific needs of the mastermind? And that's what they're looking for in a new home consultant, someone who's able to do that, to provide that flexibility and creativity to the process.
If the kids want to do homework over here, that's a nice flex space, artwork, or you could not put a desk there, put a piano there, do a wall of bookshelves to make it artwork niche, however you want to use it. So that's a nice flex space there.
Masterminds are charismatic. They draw people to them. Part of it is that unpredictability. Part of that is I never know one moment the squirrel's going to arrive. But they're like a roller coaster ride. The mastermind's intrinsic need is excitement, interesting, so they're going to want to be in a cool area, or they want a cool home, or they want a place where they can see entertaining for fun parties.
So the overall impression of the training was very engaging and applicable. There's a lot of times you go through trainings where it seems like the trainer's really just speaking for the sake of hearing themselves and this concept that they've created and believe in fully, but maybe isn't as applicable to what it is that we or my team are doing as sales counselors in an environment. And Dave had such a way of relating to the sales experience and relating to the life of a sales counselor.
So in terms of transfer of learning, I think there's 3 steps. First, you have to absorb the information, understand it. But then you have to connect it. You have to say to yourself, oh, I see how that information would be useful to me in my job. And then third, you have to apply it. So you actually have to take what you've learned, what you see as useful to your job, and actually try using it. So in order to do that, after 2 sessions in the classroom, we then move the training into the communities. And in the communities, they got a chance to actually apply the concept of framing. And framing is when you take a home and you tell the story of that home in different ways based on the interactive style of the consumer. So for example, if I have a home that I'm showing to a romantic, I'm going to tell that story in terms of the home's value to family and friends and the emotional appeal of the home. If I'm framing that story to a warrior, I'm going to tell the home story about status and about value and efficiency and how this home is the best that you can get for that money. For an expert, I'm going to talk about facts, I'm going to talk statistics, I'm going to talk about square footage, I'm going to be very, very specific and accurate in my information. And finally, when I frame to a mastermind, I'm going to talk about concepts, I'm going to talk about ideas, I'm going to show them how they can make this home customized to their needs, something I call lifestyle flexibility, what spaces I have that I can make my own. And that framing is so important to the sale, and it was such a wonderful opportunity to get to do that in the beautiful homes in each region.
It's great to be able to identify, using these tools to identify the different styles and the different characters that we get.
You know, one of the most problematic pieces of the sales process is when a customer knows they love the home, it's the perfect home for them, but they're having some last minute second thoughts, a little buyer's remorse. Maybe they spent a little bit more money than they thought they were going to. And, this can be, a difficult period for both the home buyer as well as the new home consultant. So we spent some time talking about how do we overcome these customer concerns. And we address these with a very specific model. First, make sure that you listen to all the concerns of the consumer and don't interrupt them. Let them talk their way through it. Many times they'll talk themselves into the purchase when they realize that everything they're concerned about is really not that important. But if they don't, listening to them helps you then repeat back to them, confirm to them that you understand what they said. So you would confirm what you believe the consumer's concern is. Thirdly, it's important to validate that concern. Whether or not you share that concern as a new home consultant is unimportant. If the consumer is concerned about it, it's valid, it's real, and you should validate that concern. Once you've done those three things, you've listened, you've confirmed, and you've validated, now you can address those concerns with the consumer. But make sure you avoid one very specific word. Don't use the word but. Because when you say but, you've unintentionally and psychologically dismissed the customer's concerns, and now you're arguing with them. So instead of using the word but, use the word and. Because when you say and then address the customer's concerns, you've allowed them to keep their concerns, and now you will explain why there are valid reasons that those concerns can be overcome. If you follow that step by step, you will overcome objections effectively.
The biggest point that I can say the training has done for us is that it has made us aware of the different personalities. We always talk about we know personalities, but knowing how to deal with those different personalities is really a huge factor in getting them engaged in the home and getting them from being somebody walking through the door to going through our homes to actually sitting down and doing a contract.
One of the biggest challenges of being a new home consultant is that, after the sale, there's still a relationship with that homeowner. And, never was the perfect home built. There's going to be some little corrections that have to be done after close, after sale, after occupancy that might upset the consumer a little bit. They may come back to you and express that they're unhappy with something that's not functioning correctly or some kind of flaw in the construction. It's often a very simple fix, but they're still upset because, it's a brand new home. So when this happens, we talked about a model for handling that. Again, it's important to listen to consumer. Don't interrupt them. No matter how angry they might be, let them get that off their chest. Let them vent to you. After you've listened to their concern, then apologize. Apologize that they're having this experience. That helps disarm the customer and lets them know that you are legitimately interested in making this problem go away for them. Offer solutions. It's not always going to be exactly what they want, depending on what their demand is. But if you offer solutions, and particularly a variety of options, allows the consumer to have control over how this gets resolved. Once it's resolved, the final step of the last process, LAST, is thank. And you thank the consumer for bringing their concern to your attention. In this day of social media, and it's so easy now for people to go online and say very derogatory things about organizations, any consumer that comes directly to us with their concerns and gives us a chance to fix those, we should thank them. That was courageous and useful to us. So listen, apologize, solve, and thank. If you do that, even the hardest customers will respond well. And there you have it. What a great experience this has been for me. As an educator, one of the great advantages I experience is how much I learn from the people that I am teaching. And this has been exactly that. Every time I landed in a new division, I learned so much from the people that were in attendance. And for that, I'll be forever grateful. Thank you to all, and I hope to see you all down the road to peace.
The beautiful thing about the leadership difference is it's real life, it's genuine, it's not canned, and it gives them the opportunity to just relate to people as you would relate to anyone that you meet on the street.
It was wonderful. No, videoing. Oh, you are? Oh, this is like,
That'll be all
my
right,
name's
yeah.
Waters, and this is my world, right? I'm sorry. Hello, I'm so sorry, you know?
No, but you
Now I'm very verklempt, you know what I mean? Very verklempt.